What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we've got word of a new $500 stimulus check that's going to be starting here very soon, going out. And also, we've got word that this is just the foundation that they're laying, proof that these programs of monthly checks work, as they want to do this on a federal level. I've got a lot of video footage for you, and this is your stimulus check update. Now, you guys, also wanted to mention very quickly that the new video is up on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. If you're interested, I'll pin a comment down below. Click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. 2 videos are up on that channel so far. First one is some advice that I received years ago from a multimillionaire about becoming financially free. He told me to focus on 3 things. I did, and it worked. Also, the new video up is about how a lot of investors are making a lot of money right now in the metaverse. And I share with you NFTs, buying virtual real estate, and also, if you're not quite interested in that, companies that you could purchase stocks in or cryptocurrencies directly tied to the metaverse. So consider checking out that channel and joining as well to learn about that. But right now, you guys, take a look at this. From Minneapolis to St. Paul, guaranteed income pilots are giving families a boost. The City of Minneapolis will select 200 families to receive $500 each monthly starting as early as this spring. Now, also, as I mentioned, they want to take this on a federal level. They're saying everything that's happening right now through funds from the American Rescue Plan to provide monthly stimulus checks. This is all to provide proof that we need this on a national level. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys, but I've got a lot of video footage I'm going to be sharing with you, and we're going to be diving into monthly stimulus checks. Now, before we do, though, if you could do me a quick favor, take a quick second to smash the like button. Helps out the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. By far, best way to get a hold of me if you have any questions, guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's take a look at some video footage on this new program that's going to be launching in Minneapolis for $500 per month to 200 lucky families.
What would you do if you had $500 extra each month? The City of Minneapolis plans to give that boost to families who need it. No strings attached on how it's spent.
This is a pretty unique program. The city has not offered cash assistance in this way.
Erik Hansen and Mark Brinda with the City of Minneapolis say they're in the process of going through applications. 200 families who meet the eligibility requirements, including being impacted by the pandemic, will get $500 every month for 2 years.
We know that family expenses aren't even every month. And these kind of dollars give that flexibility for a family to see their path to where they're going to be stable and make those investments at that time.
This could be a game-changing program.
Money from the American Rescue Plan Act will be used to fund the pilot. They're working with the Minneapolis Federal Reserve to study the results.
We don't have those outcomes yet, but we'll be asking those questions of the families that we have in. And does it lead to that stability that we're hoping is built into this?
It's promising if you look at the results from Stockton, California. Their study found it helped recipients find full-time jobs, and they spent a majority of the money on necessities like food.
All of this is about shifting our lens of the way we approach poverty in America.
St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter followed Stockton's lead, becoming one of the co-founders of Mayors for a Guaranteed Income. St. Paul's pilot started in the fall of 2020, 18 months of $500 payments. The last of those will start wrapping up in February.
Long term, our argument is not that this is something that the city or that cities across our country can sustain with the limited kind of number of resources that we have to work with.
Mayor Carter says the goal is to take their research to the state and federal level, while also addressing policies that discourage taking that new job or promotion because it could mean they'll lose their federal benefits.
This is a perfect opportunity to shine a spotlight on the ways in which the policies that we've created in Washington, D.C. and in the state's capital actually perpetuate and sustain some of the disparities.
Beyond filling basic needs, there's the hope it can help recipients take risks to reach their goals.
We can have a large impact not only on those families, but the entire communities they live in.
So there you have it, you guys. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but we heard them mention that these programs are having a lot of success because they're all looking to the ones that happened in Stockton, California, that had a lot of success with the residents in that city. Now, we're going to actually be hearing from the mayor that started that program and also the one that's happening right now in Georgia for single black mothers as well. That's going to be providing $800, I think $850 per month to mothers that are able to apply and become a part of the program. Now, let's take a look at this, and they're going to be mentioning that all of this that's happening, they want to lay the foundation for having this happen on a federal level. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Joining me now, Hope Wallensack, co-director of Georgia's In Her Hands Guaranteed Income Initiative, and my friend Michael Tubbs, who ran a very successful guaranteed basic income experiment as the former mayor of Stockton, California. He's now an advisor to Governor Gavin Newsom, and he's the author of the book, The Deeper the Roots. Very happy to have you both. Hope, I'll start with you. How are women selected to be a part of the In Her Hands program?
Terrific. Yes, thank you so much for having me. Eligible women in Georgia can apply for the program starting as early as March of this year. And so we'll be focused on 3 areas across the state. The Old Fourth Ward neighborhood, it's an area with extreme inequality. It's also the birthplace of Dr. Martin Luther King and where he and Coretta are buried today. It also will be focused in Southwest Georgia. We're one of the only programs in the country to have a focus on rural areas because we know economic insecurity is not just an urban issue. It's pervasive across rural areas, suburban areas, and really across our country. And then we'll have also a site in the Atlanta suburbs. So women in need, about 200% of the federal poverty line, can apply for the program as it launches in their eligible areas.
That's a really, it's my neck of the woods. So that's a really interesting program. And I'll be very interested in seeing how that plays out. And Michael Tubbs, you know all about it because you tried a guaranteed income program in Stockton, California during your tenure as mayor. What was the impact that it had on your city?
What we saw with the guaranteed income program in Stockton is similar to what we saw with the stimulus checks and what we saw with the child tax credit, and mainly that people know how to spend money. When we talk about a guaranteed income, we're talking about giving people a floor and the ability to pay for childcare so they could go to work, the ability to get their car fixed, the ability to take care of their kids and their families and other necessities. So I'm so inspired by the work of Hope and of the over 60 plus programs going on nationwide, including many ran in conjunction with Mayors for Guaranteed Income, because we see community leaders and mayors standing up and saying, even if Joe Manchin or the federal government doesn't get it, we have to have an income floor. We can actually get rid of poverty in our country and unlock all type of potential and productivity.
I think something that people don't realize is it's very expensive to be poor. I certainly did not live in wealthy neighborhoods. And so those corner markets, they have the same prices as Whole Foods, but for not the quality of the food that you get. And when people are impoverished, it eventually becomes all of our problem. Eventually, we do have to collectively, address these issues, and it impacts the taxes that we pay, our neighborhoods, our schools, et cetera. Something interesting for you, Michael, a study found that actually employment rose during the time that you were giving people a universal basic income. Their financial and physical and emotional health improved. And one of our producers noted that even the people who weren't receiving these funds, their employment chances rose. So it was really by osmosis that it uplifted a community, which is, really interesting. Many of these programs, Hope, are done through public-private partnerships. I know your program is running alongside in Atlanta their own guaranteed basic income experiment that they're doing. But I'm curious, how can you scale this? Because some people get caught up in, well, we're just giving people money for nothing. So that's an issue. And then if somebody's making 6 figures, when you say universal, people will think, well, why are we giving wealthy people money who don't need it? So explain that.
Yeah, absolutely. These are great questions. So when we say guaranteed income versus maybe, let's say, UBI, a guaranteed income might be a focused, unconditional cash transfers to members of a particular community. So, I think there's much that we've learned about guaranteed income from the sort of experiments that have happened across the country, and yet there are still things that we are seeking to learn. And principally, I think among them are, how does this work in rural areas? how does this work for some of the people who are experiencing the most acute impacts of economic insecurity in our economy because of structural and systemic factors like Black women. And so we're excited that our program and the scale of this program is going to build on the incredible work Mayor Tubbs has led in Stockton, Aisha Nyandoro has led in Jackson, Mississippi, and many others across the country to think about what does a guaranteed income program look like at scale and focused on those really most in need, and how we center Black women who are experiencing, because of, again, systemic factors, some of the most acute impacts of economic insecurity, although it's incredibly pervasive across the country, how we really center those and how we think about program design. Philanthropically funded programs or programs in cities, a couple dozen pilots across the country is not going to be sufficient for long-term systemic change. And so we're excited that there'll be learnings out of this program that can influence policy while improving the outcomes.
And something interesting, Alaska's universal basic income, it has really impacted their state in a positive way. They give each resident a check every year, and it's cut poverty and warped the state's politics. Since 1982, Alaska's been giving every woman, man, and child an annual chunk of its nest egg, and that's $66.3 billion. So this can work, and I hope that both of these programs are successful.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. They said that this is something that's needed, and we're seeing indications that this has just helped out all of the cities so far that have done it. And they said that the argument that this is causing people not to want to work or things against it, well, they're saying, no, the cases we've actually seen employment improve, people getting jobs, that it actually is helping stimulate these economies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. But let me know, would you like to see something like this happen on a federal level? Or do you think that this should be designated just for specific cities? Or should we get rid of it altogether? Let me know your thoughts. Now, in the meantime, the argument for a forced stimulus check is still up in the air. The current stimulus package that they're working on, which is going to be Build Back Better, probably 2.0 now we're hearing, does not have a check included. And we're hearing that there will be another stimulus reconciliation bill coming this year. And we will see what makes it into that one, as already we've heard President Joe Biden call upon Congress for more stimulus. And we've heard that lawmakers have said we need some more for businesses and also to help fight against the pandemic. So we will see if any more direct payments come out on a federal level. And if it does, know that I'll be sure to share it here on the channel. But you guys, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. 2 videos up on that channel now. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.